Hey y'all, it's your girl Mariah Sincere, and I am back with another live. I'm excited to get started. I'm excited to see y'all today. The topic we're going to talk about people in older age getting divorced and the fact that it seems like a lot of people have a problem with this. I'm not understanding why, but they do. And I think it's very important to talk about this because often how we feel other people should be behaving in their older age is how we feel about ourselves now, to be honest. It's all projection. So we're going to talk about this through the lens of Judge Mathis's divorce, as well as Tina Knowles Lawson, Beyonce's mother, getting a divorce from Richard Lawson. Okay, and this is her second divorce as an older person, because remember, she divorced Beyonce's daddy. So we're gonna talk about it and we're gonna get into it. Y'all, I'm so irritated because I was putting my hair up in a ponytail and boom, my fingernail snapped off. That's one thing about getting your nails done here in Colombia. They don't use tips. Everything is nail forms. So they build the nail every time, and it's like more natural looking when they do break. It doesn't hurt as much because all that glue on those tips, that can really hurt you, but you do got to be a little bit more careful with these nails over here. So y'all, I got this candle again, y'all. I love this candle. I'm gonna hit that lady up. It's like some type of peach scent. I'm gonna hit the lady up because fall is coming and I want some fall scent. So I'm gonna hit her up and give me some more candles. Let me light this, set the little vibe. Just waiting on some people to get out. I know I said I was gonna come on at 3 today, y'all, but I went to the gym. And I was like, nah, I'm not gonna go from the gym and on live all sweaty. I need to go bathe. Like, I'm not gonna be stewing in my sweat. Um, just a little housekeeping. Remember, as y'all come in, to hit that like button. If you catch the replay, please hit the like button. Remember to subscribe, set your notification bell so that you know when I'm coming on. I'm gonna try to like go ahead and like I did this week and schedule all my lives in advance so you know what I'm talking about on each day. But just remember, the more y'all hit that like button, the more my lives get recommended while I'm on live to other people on YouTube. Another thing, I am doing travel. Okay, so I plan travel, do travel itineraries. You would be surprised on the deals that I have access to and can get you on group trips. So hit me up at thepassportsis@gmail.com if you would like to book a trip with me. Okay, and I be living my best life on trips. So this is something I love to do. I love travel, and of course y'all know I live here in Colombia. So if you need help, you want to come to Colombia, you need help planning a trip, hit me up. I got you. Okay, so I'm about to go ahead and get into it. Now, first of all, let me just say, Judge Mathis and his wife announced they were getting a divorce. Rather, TMZ announced this information. And what it looks like to me, I'm just speculating. I don't know this for sure. I'm going based off of the things he said in the clip that we are going to watch in this little interview he did at the airport, acting like he was rushing to get home for his life. It was given, I'll be home for Christmas. It seems like to me that Judge Mathis probably was out here laying it low and spreading it wide. Shout out to Miss Braxton, okay, the Braxton sisters' mama. She was another one that got divorced in her older age. That's what it sounded like to me. It sounded like he had his whole other life. He had got comfortable and content with having his wife at the house. And for whatever reason, he thought that his wife was just going to sit up and put up with his shenanigans for the rest of their life just because she had been there and invested so long. And this is what I want to say. Um, a lot of the times people treat you how they treat you and they do you how they do you because they know that you place so much value on the time that you put into the relationship that you're not going to go anywhere, right? And that's a terrible space and position to be in, honestly and truly. And I hear it all the time. Y'all know me, I like to talk to people. I talk to men all the time who have told me the stuff that their wives and their girlfriends have put up with. But it's, oh, we've been together 10 years. We've been together 15 years. We've been together 20 years, 30 years. And I'm like, she putting up with that. And you know what their response is to me? If you had put in 20, 30, 40 years into something, you wouldn't leave either. To which my response is, baby, you would never be me. Because as soon as you get to doing too much, the first time you cheat, I'm going. So we wouldn't even get to that point. And if for whatever reason you decided that you wanted to cheat on me 10 years in and the whole time I didn't know, I found out then, I would be more offended and hurt that we put in 10 years and after 10 years of my time you decide to do this to me. Okay, so there are a lot of women who stand on business when it comes to that. But for the ones that don't, you continue to get drugged because the man knows that you're going to stay. But a lot of the times, it's another thing that will happen. You have a woman that allows certain behaviors for years and years. The man in his mind feels like you're accepting these behaviors. And then guess what? When you finally get tired, because that's how women work, that's how we work. Everything could be going cool, but we start reflecting or doing a little self work, or we start growing in certain areas, pick up a new venture in our life, and one day you just wake up and realize I've outgrown this man. I don't want to take him where I'm trying to go. Right? He might not even be cheating on you anymore. But you just think about all the stuff that he did that you put up with, and you get disgusted with yourself for staying. It don't even be about the man no more. It's like, I'm disgusted with me. I'm in a different place. Why did I put up with that for so long? So a lot of the times that's what happened in older age too, and the man gets blindsided. Like, what? And they really be confused. A lot of y'all don't understand why these men get confused, because you're like, well, we've been together, he'll say like, oh, we've been together so long. These women are the ones causing these divorces. And in his mind, y'all been good for a little minute. He might not have cheated for a year or 2 years. And he just can't wrap his head around the fact that you just finally woke up and was like, baby, I should have been gone. Okay. And I don't want to take you where I'm trying to go. So, tread lightly. That's another piece of advice I want to give to men. Tread lightly when you are with a woman who has chosen to stay with you through cheating. If I were you, I would expect that hammer to fall and that ball to drop at some point. With that said, there are a lot of men who stay in miserable relationships. I've seen this too, y'all. Go on the internet and come on YouTube and do a search, sexless marriages. There are so many men talking about they've been with a woman for 10, 20 years and the woman has not had slept with them, and they've been faithful the whole time. They're like, I don't want to sleep with anybody but there are men like that will stay with women for years and years and years, and the woman is not sleeping with them no more, and he ain't cheating. I met a dude like that who you could tell his wife was with him. They were married for 20 years. He was like, she was always kind of funny about sleeping with me. But when we got married, she wouldn't sleep with me. And then eventually she made me sleep on the couch every single day. And I really loved her. And she would not sleep with me. And he didn't cheat on her the whole time. And you could tell he was still sprung on her. But this man had went 20 years without sleeping with a woman. Right? So should a man like that stay with a woman? Like, should a man like that just decide, okay, well, we've been together so long, we might as well just stay together? I need us to get over the mindset that we have when it comes to dealing with people in old age, okay? Because it's not over till it's over, baby. We gotta hustle. We gotta stay in when it comes to hustling, okay? It ain't over till it's over. And a lot of y'all just expect people to check out just because they've gotten to 40, 50, 60, 70 years of age, as if they don't still have time on this earth. And I'm going to need us to get out of that mindset. Now, with that said, I'm going to go ahead and get into the video. So, well, not the video. Here's the post. Let me share my screen. I'm going to show y'all the post when the news was first broken. And I'm going to read the comments. They were really disappointing. Okay, let me zoom in a little bit. So, Judge Mathis' wife, Linda Reese, reportedly files for divorce after 39 years of marriage. And Linda still look good. Judge Mathis, he don't look bad himself. He don't look like he been living hard. Judge Mathis gives me old player pimp vibes. Like he's got that image of being. Okay, I don't know what I did. Let me go back to the comment section. I apologize, y'all. Let me reshare my screen. Give me a second. Okay, I apologize, y'all. I was talking to my daughter. Okay. So again, this man says she got the internet making her believe there's some better man out there for her after 40 years said has to be I'm going him that somebody who I'm not even really feeling like that anymore is attached to me. Why can't it be that? Why can't the Yeah, I'm gonna have to do something about this internet because the past couple of lives I have got on here, I don't know if it's this time, but the past couple of lives I've got on here, it done got to tripping. Remember as you're coming in to comments in the comment section, but anyway, so yeah, it's always has to be centered around going and finding another person. Um, Somebody else said the majority of us are too young and inexperienced to even genuinely relate to this kind of union or separation. Can you imagine the depth and range of issues two people can have after being together for 39 years? Most of But yeah, most of us now will never have relationships that long. I would still be in my first relationship with my daughter's dad had I not have left. He would have never left me. He would have just continued doing the things he was doing. But I'm certain he would have never left me. I would still be in a relationship today. And people wouldn't be saying anything to me about being single and bitter. Most of us won't experience that type of experience partnership that lasts even half as long. They've raised their children and helped each other grow. This isn't a loss. I love that she said that, because a lot of the times people feel like because they were with somebody and the marriage didn't work out, like if it ends in divorce, it was a failure. And they completely disregard some of the other objectives other than us just staying together, other objectives that they hit along the way. Maybe you got with this person and both of y'all credit scores improved. Maybe y'all bought and profited off of property together. There are so many things that you can accomplish outside of just staying together, right? There are so many people who've been together for 20, 30, 40 years and the whole time they've been broke. They ain't accomplished nothing else as a couple. So, um, if you done stayed together for 20, 30, 40 years and the whole time y'all been broke, arguing, cheated, and catching STDs, you're not going to convince me that that marriage is more successful just because they stayed together until somebody died than a couple. Yeah, most of the time they just want a little friend. They want Leroy to come over and they don't want to be in another man's space. They don't want to get married again. They just want companionship. Give me a second. I'm gonna tell my daughter to get off the Wi-Fi. Maybe that's gonna help. Give me a second. Tatiana, come here. Okay, guys, I think we're good now. I had it on a VPN. Maybe that was what was causing the issues. We shall see. Um, she just wants peace, kids, and grandbabies. God bless them both. Yeah, and she still looks good. I promise you, she's If she want to get another man, she's not gonna have a problem getting one. But again, that's not what she's worried about. This one says Wendy Williams would have had a field day with this one. I miss Wendy. There's nobody else. Tasha K, maybe Tasha K. Okay, no, but nobody else doing it at the level Wendy was doing it. Somebody said 39. Take your ASS to the other side of the house and calm down. No. Okay. Why would you want to live in a house with somebody that you don't want to be with anymore? Dang, 39 years? Come on, we can live in separate rooms. Ain't nobody leaving after 39 years. Why? They're not broke. Why do you have to go live in separate rooms? Why not just buy a whole separate house? Why not go get you a separate apartment and lease it? This is broke people conversation. This is people who need each other for survival. But when y'all both have money, you don't have to go live and sleep in a separate room because you're too scared to leave the other person. Because then you're going to be financially messed off or because you need them for survival. That is broke people talk. That is low class talk. These people have money. They don't have to live with people they don't want to live with. Somebody said a waste of damn time. Again, these are people who get into relationships and they have a problem leaving somebody who was mistreating them because they don't want to feel like they wasted their time. It's the mindset thing. Oh my, these dang dogs next door. It's a mindset thing. They don't want to feel like they will allow somebody to shit on them continuously because, well, we've been together for 5, 10, 15, 20 years and I don't want to feel like I wasted my time. That is crazy. What else were you doing with your time besides being up this other person's behind? Did you get your education in that time? Did you further your career? Were you working on your body? Were you working on your spirit? Did you get a business going? If you had other things going, just because you broke up with somebody, that's not wasted time. You should have learned from that experience and been building yourself. Hey, Cha Cha, I'm glad you're here. Look, you have missed my technical difficulties. I just realized I had my laptop on a VPN. I think that is what was causing my Wi-Fi to trip yesterday and today. So I've taken it off. So far, so far, so good. But I'm glad to see you, sis. Yeah, we are talking about the fact that people were going in on Judge Mathis' wife because she's deciding after 39 years of marriage, she's good. She's good, love. Enjoy. Okay. Let's see what else they had to say. A woman who has been married 39 years and deciding to file divorce means she's dealt with a lot and finally chose herself. Period. Sis is fed up. Probably should have left a long time ago. He's gonna admit in this video that we're gonna watch that he was the one messing up. Now he tried to pull that politicking, equivocating mess, and tried to allude to him not being a cheater. But you got to pay attention to what he said. I don't care how long they've been married. It's never too late for a peace of mind. I know that's right. After the breakup, why he called her a crackhead? I ain't hear that. Somebody said, damn, they couldn't wait till 40. I hate odd numbers. Somebody said, divorce? No. You took 4 decades of my life. Go sit down. Okay, you might have what? How old are they? 60, 70? You might have another 4 decades left in you. You know, people live longer these days. Why I got to give you another 40, 10, or even 10 years of my life and I'm ready to go? Okay? Yes, that's how I feel about it. These are people living in fear. Somebody said after 39 years together, ain't no breaking up. Well, what are you gonna do if I do break up? This type of stuff scares me. Like, are you gonna try to kill me? Are you gonna try to ruin my life? These are crazy people. Here's somebody with some sense. I don't care if we're married 3 years or 39 years. Peace is free. She had to have lost her peace years ago, but tried to hold on. I'd rather be alone in that peace. Mothers be wanting you to stay together unhappy. Hell no. Because they're unhappy because they put all of their worth and value as a person and being in a relationship and will desperate, do anything just to try to keep somebody and stay with somebody. Desperate, miserable people. Those are the only type of people that feel away when they see older people getting a divorce. Okay. I love this. I'm gonna end it with this post with this. My grandparents are separated after 40 years of marriage. He had a baby on her, was abusive. She did everything for him and worked herself down for him time and time again. Ooh, I feel like singing a old Negro spiritual reading this. Okay, I feel the struggle in this post. And he left her with nothing but debt. Earlier this year, she sold everything in her house and dipped out. She never looked back, and they have been no contact ever since. She won't even talk to the man. Okay, she sent Leroy straight to voicemail. And she's in her 60s, living life more than she ever did. And yes, they were heavily dedicated to the church in those years, which always made her stay and work it out. It's not only them church folks. I'm so happy she's finally happy now. However long it took, I'm glad she's free. Let me tell you something, and this is nothing against Christianity, the religion per se. Um, hold on. He spoke in technicalities in order to avoid being the reason for the divorce in court. He definitely has been cheating on that lady. This is what I know. Okay? But this is nothing against Christianity as a religion. I'm talking about the people in the church house. Y'all got to understand the vast majority of men that go to church these days, or even back then, you got to understand a lot of them cheat on the pastors be cheating. The pastors be having side chicks and side men. Okay. Then on top of that, you got the deacon board. The only reason why they're there is because they're yes men to the pastor. Right. And then everybody else got to be a yes man to all of them. So you're not going to go to church and listen to people say, okay, they hear you and the struggles you're going through as a married person. And you're not going to hear church people say, you need to leave. You need to get out. Church people will convince you to stay through cheating. Church people will convince you to stay through somebody putting their hands and feet on you. And they will tell you to pray, 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 pray for God to heal your marriage. So they understand faith in terms of faith without works is unalived. I don't think I can say it on here, right? But y'all know the same. So it makes sense when they're talking about that with other things. But when it comes to marriage, all of a sudden that doesn't apply. No, if you got a partner in a relationship that's not doing their part, then there's no praying nothing away. You're praying for them to do better. You got to move around on them and you got to choose you, period. Okay. All right, let's watch this video that Judge Mathis did with TMZ. Oh, hold on. Let me put my headphones on.
How about that?
Okay, well, I'm sorry to hear that. I wanted to ask you, with news of the separation, how are you holding up?
Not holding up very well. I would say the other man, maybe I'll be an example for other men, cautionary tale. Don't neglect your wife. You see how many at the airport now, flying out, as I have for 40 or for 25 years. My wife has been third, serving the community, taping my show, having fun with friends. That's what happens, guys. Never be.
Now, I don't see why his wife, if this wasn't about him being unfaithful, why couldn't your wife be present through all of that? Like, if you're serving a community, why isn't your wife out with you while you're serving the community? Like, that's something y'all can do together. Again, hanging out with your friends. Does he not have other married friends that, like why can't his wife come along? And I'm totally for married people having their own separate groups of friends and having outings apart from their spouse. But like if it was to the point where his wife wants to leave him. Obviously, he was doing way too much of that. And to that, my question is, why can't you bring your wife along for a lot of those times? Right? Those are times they could be bonding together as well as spending time with other people. So why you gotta be with your friends alone all the time? And you better believe he is friends with other men of means who have the money to be out here laying it low and spreading it wide. Okay.
Too busy or never have too much fun beyond your wife.
So I do want to ask, the date of separation is listed.
And again, I don't see too many people saying he was too old to be out here in these streets having too much fun like that. But she too old to try to get a divorce. Okay.
Back in July 17th. Has this been coming for some time now, or was it something out the blue?
Well, ever since we started taping here in LA, I committed to staying home more and making my wife more of a priority. But as you see, I haven't. I'm still here on the road doing the same thing.
So basically, what it sounds like to me is he told her, she probably talked about leaving him before. Baby, I'm going to change. I'm going to do better. I'm going to commit more time to you. And it was all just to shut her up, kind of like with Tom Brady and his wife Giselle. Oh, I'm going to retire. I'm going to retire, went back. Okay. So, she's probably fell for that same song and tune time and time again and was just like, I can't do it anymore. This is never going to change. He is who he is, and I don't like it, and I'm not comfortable with it. So you can't blame the woman. And again, this is coming out of his own mouth. This is not something where I'm speculating about.
And in terms of going out into another city, but I was gone for 3 weeks. That's what July 17th meant.
Would you
Hold on. So he went somewhere and was gone for 3 whole weeks? Knowing his wife already talked to him about this type of behavior. Okay, I'm not feeling sorry for this man. I'm really not.
say you two are in a good place right now, or able to maintain a friendship, or?
Oh yeah, we're still in the same house and we're maintaining a friendship. And I'm trying to get my wife back. Try to have.
That's how you know a woman is done. When she not mad, when she not giving you hell, when she's not mad, when she can look at you, not be upset, not be angry, not yell, not throw a fit, but she's just done. I'm just done, love. That's it. I'm just done. It's over with, and I don't want you no more. When a woman behaves like that with a man, it's beyond repair. If a woman is still getting emotional and crying and still trying to do stuff to get under your skin, throwing shade on social media, throwing shots every chance that she gets, you still have a chance. You can save that relationship. But when a woman is peaceful, amicable, classy, and ladylike about the breakup, it's a wrap. You ain't getting that back. That's the most ridiculous question. It's asked because it's assumed that no one wants an older woman. Me, I'd rather be single than in a truly unhappy marriage. I'm happily married. Any age. Girl, let me tell you, you ain't never lied, chickadee. And thank you for coming on here. I think this is my first time seeing you comment here. So thank you for tuning in. Y'all. So y'all know I like to interview men and talk to men and pick their brains. There are so many men who prefer older women. Okay. Matter of fact, they tell me that doing the thing with women, I know I'm talking about the thing with older women is better than younger women because they're cleaner. They know what they're doing. And then on top of that, they say with time it get better. That's what they told me. They say with time that thing get better. Like we've been conditioned to think it's dry powder. No, ma'am. They telling me that thing thinking, and these are young men who were telling me this, like men who were in their late 20s, 30s. All yeah, they're telling me they be taking down 65-year-old women. Yes, I have heard this.
To show her that though. Hopefully I can show her while we're there together before, and hopefully she doesn't complete the process. But I'm changing in hopes that she will. I'm gonna get my wife back. How about that?
I wouldn't take back nothing because She's probably threatened the divorce. Why do I have to go file for you to finally get some fire lit up under your butt? I don't want it no more. I don't want you. I don't want it. Sir, you can keep all those efforts that you are about to try to make. You should have been doing that when you had time.
I just
Absolutely.
wanted to eliminate all them rumors too, that it's something about a baby or even me molesting a child. It's none of that. I've just told you what it is.
There were also, kind of some rumors of any infidelity. Did you want to clear that up at all? You say it's solely neglect.
Well,
Okay, so before he answered this, notice now, the baby and the child, those are things that are egregious on his reputation. So, of course, he felt like the need to address those things first, especially since he's a judge, especially since he is in control of carrying out, the interpreting the law and sentencing people. So, I understand why he felt the need to address those things first, but you know, obviously people have been accusing him of cheating. They've probably been accusing him of cheating more than they've been accusing him of all that other stuff. So why did he not make it a point to say, I didn't cheat on her, it wasn't because of cheating? Okay. Uh the messing with a child comment threw me off. I never heard of that being attached to his name until he brought it up. Yeah, I think he just threw it out there because to kind of like clean up the fact that the real thing he's being accused of is the cheating. And I don't think he wanted to address that. I think he wanted to like try to save face, make himself seem like he was still a good person, but without actually addressing the cheating. Let's listen to what else he says.
neglect can create suspicion, certainly. And if you're gone as much as I am, you have every right to suspect. You go to work, you go serve in the community around the country, then you go with your guys to sporting events around the country, you go to other events except without your wife hanging with you and enjoying herself with you. And so, yeah, she would have a right to suspect infidelity.
But there was none of that going on.
That's not the purpose. That's not the reason for this.
Not one time did he say emphatically, without any room for interpretation, I did not cheat on my wife. It was, I can understand why, because I was acting, there was some suspicion, but that's not the reason for this. Come on now. This man went to law school. He's around politicians. He's around lawyers all the time. He knows exactly what he needs to say to have plausible deniability. He knows exactly what he needs to say so that if one of them side chicks come out the woodwork and decide to go public, he can come back and say, well, I never said I didn't cheat on my wife. I said that that wasn't the reason for the divorce. Boy, you ain't slick. Go find you somebody else to play with. And that's why that woman went and said, I'm ready to sign them papers. Okay. And the people who are feeling some type of way or trying to demonize his wife for leaving after 39 years of marriage, these are the same people that would have told Silly that she should have stayed with Mr. I ain't lying. Okay. These are the same people who will tell a woman to stay, even though a man is dragging her. She done aged faster because of him. Like she's sitting around miserable, depressed, and hating her life. These are the same people who feel like married women should be condemned to a life of servitude. It's almost like you better off not getting married. And again, I'm not anti-marriage. I feel like if it makes sense and it makes you happy, then do it. I'm not talking against marriage. But it's almost like, well, it's not really benefiting us because if the marriage falls apart, the woman is always off top gonna get like the blame or be told we should have stayed and been a steadfast wife even through the BS. Okay, so next, let's talk about, I'm going to exit out these screens. Let's talk about Beyonce Knowles' mother, Beyonce Knowles Carter, her mother. And let's talk about Miss Tina and her husband. Okay, so I'm gonna show y'all this YouTuber, Kiki's Tea. She put together this video. Shout out to Kiki. And I'm going to share a clip.
Y'all, it looks like it's game over for Tina Knowles and Richard Lawson because these two just finalized their divorce. On the surface, it looks like the divorce was mutual and was as peaceful as could be, but girl, you'd be wrong about that. The internet is convinced that a lot of drama went down behind the scenes before Tina even filed for divorce, and that the divorce was secretly a hot mess. Girl, the streets are even saying that Richard was the one who was going to file for divorce because he could no longer stand Tina, but she one-upped him and filed for divorce first. But what on earth did Tina do to make Richard sick and tired of her? And were these two secretly having an affair back when Tina was still married to Beyonce's dad? Let's spill the tea.
I want to say this. I've always found it a little bit weird that you never really saw Richard Lawson's daughter, Bianca. Y'all know Bianca. She was in Bones. She's always playing these young roles. Like she looks like she's still 25 and the girl is in her 40s. What else was she in? Oh, she was in Save the Last Dance. Remember, she was the ex-girlfriend. Um, so she's taken all these roles and she's a prominent actress. Everybody knows her. We've seen her. I always found it weird that I never really saw her and Beyonce getting close like that. I'm gonna say that. It seems like there's always been a kind of a little bit of tension.
Fans were shocked when we found out last year that these two were getting a divorce because everybody believed that they were the end game. You know, that fairy tale kind of love that was going to last forever.
Became friends and it hung out, and I supported her because she was going through a tough time with the divorce and the remarriage of her previous husband. And we just took our time, we became friends, we hung out, we traveled, and little by little, you know, all the things that were naturally connected.
But while we were trying to figure out how they went from that to getting divorced, we couldn't help but notice some red flags between them that kind of showed that these two weren't perfect as we had imagined. For one, while they claimed that they had been friends for more than 30 years and nothing intimate happened, they were soon exposed for lying about that. Word on the streets is that Tina and Richard had a little something going on when she was married to Matthew Knowles.
And if she did, and as much as Matthew Knowles was laying them low and spreading them wide, even had a baby by which friend was Solange's friend. Who cares? I really don't care. So I'm not saying that this is true. This is all alleged. This is word on the street. But if she did, who cares? Because we've seen evidence and receipts that Matthew was out here out in these streets. So if she decided she was tired of being the victim and wanted to be the one doing all the cheating, who cares?
And Richard was married to somebody else. Matthew and Tina were married for about 30 years, but let's be real, nobody would call those 30 years a joyride. Matthew was out here doing the most, and by that I mean he was allegedly cheating on Tina left, right, and center with every woman that he could convince to hop into bed with him. Rumor has it he couldn't keep it in his pants for most, if not all, of their marriage. Fast forward about a year after they got married, Tina was pregnant with Beyonce and decided to drop by her BFF Gwen's place. While she was there, she bumped into Gwen's older brother, Richard Lawson. And honey, Richard was all about Tina from the jump. Baby bump and all. He didn't care one bit that she was pregnant because he was
Okay, so they've known each other for a long time. Okay, so they met when she was pregnant with Beyonce. Okay, Miss Tina.
convinced it was love at first sight. Richard was already married with a daughter then, but he didn't care and was into Tina big time. But Tina claimed that she wasn't about that, so she shut that down real quick, sending Richard straight to the friend zone.
Okay, so here's where Miss Tina messed up. And I'm not saying that Richard Lawson cheated on her. I'm not saying that at all. Okay. What I am saying is you divorce a cheater just to get back, just to marry a man who was willing to cheat with you. The only reason why it didn't happen is because you shut it down. What sense does that make? In that case, yeah, you might as well just, if you gonna leave a cheater to go be with a man that you know is willing to cheat, you might as well stayed in a relationship with your first husband. if you're gonna go do that. Now, I'm not saying that, like, okay, if you leave a relationship and you get with another person and you find out over the course of that relationship that they're a cheater, that you should have stayed with that the original cheater. That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about when people knowingly go into these type of situations and you already know that they're about that life.
However, it looks like Tina might not have been completely honest about this because, according to Beyonce's former vocal coach, David Brewer, Tina and Richard were allegedly smashing at the time. According to David Brewer, the marriage was super strained at the time because Matthew was allegedly into some illegal substances. In his tell-all book, he wrote, "Turns out he had escalated to stronger and even stranger behaviors. Rumor had it that had long since stopped satisfying his thirst and had turned." David claimed that it was the habit that eventually led Tina to start cheating on Matthew with nobody else other than Richard Lawson. David wrote, "I soon discovered that although unhappily married, Celestine was not suffering all by herself. Going over to the main house to retrieve my keyboard one afternoon, I happened upon Celestine kissing a man. I recognized him immediately, Richard Lawson, a famous actor. The star."
Oh, baby, this is some old ghetto country tea. Okay, this is giving Louisiana swamp water. This is giving Houston, Texas. That's what it's giving. And you know what? They probably kept all this out of the media for so long because Beyonce loves her mother. And I genuinely feel like they have a close relationship and there's been some contention with her father. So we're just now hearing this tea about Tina and her infidelities. Okay.
Celestine had no choice but to
And again, this is all allegedly.
introduce me. Talk about awkward. She was supposed to be at her salon. I extended my hand to Richard, telling him how much I admired his work. He nodded. "It's a pleasure," he said. After letting him out of the house, Celestine turned. "Richard is my cousin," she said. "He's on that stuff." So she lied about who.
Okay, so you got caught kissing your cousin and then told people that was your cousin. Oh, this is real backwoods country. I that would have never left my mouth. That lie would have never left my mouth.
Richard was, which is sus AF. So it looks like they got together when they were both married, and y'all know that most relationships that start as a result of affairs rarely ever work out.
I wonder why that's why we don't really see Bianca close with the Knowles family, because Tina might have been cheating with Bianca's father while he was still married to her mother. So of course she's gonna have more loyalty to her mother. Okay, that would make sense.
Anywho, these two eventually got together when Tina divorced Matthew for having not one, but two babies with two separate women when he was still married to Tina. But just because she ended things with Matthew doesn't mean that she was ready to jump into a relationship with Richard, especially since she was still salty over how dirty Matthew did her.
My husband is getting married. Now, this is my family. My ex-husband is my family. Yes. So I'm just very, I don't want to get back into that at all. That's not what I want, but still, it still hurts a little bit, right? It still a blow to the ego.
But like Richard said, he supported her through it all. They fell in love and lived happily ever after, and her kids were more than happy to give their blessings to the relationship. He said, "I called her children and asked for her hand in marriage from them. I thought that was important because I knew that it didn't stand a chance unless they were on board. I was fortunate enough that they were completely on board and just over the top excited about it." Well, they lived happily for a few years, but there were still some red flags that fans didn't pay attention to at first. For example, Tina kept the Knowles last name after she divorced Matthew, who did her so salty that she got scared of dating.
Well, that to me, that's not a red flag that she kept her last name Knowles, because she's Beyonce's mother. So we all know her for being Beyonce's mother. So Beyonce kept her last name as well. She just added that Carter Knowles. So at the end of the day, she is a part of an empire. She wants that last name to validate her socially. It don't really have nothing to do with her ex-husband. That just makes financial sense to me.
Anybody else. So folks couldn't help but side-eye the fact that Tina kept the Knowles last name even after getting married to someone else. The tea is that many people thought she kept the Knowles last name since both of her superstar daughters carry that name. Sure, Beyonce added Carter to her name after marrying Jay-Z, but Tina was holding on to Knowles like it was a lifeline. Some fans felt this was a bit shady toward her new husband Richard, but he didn't seem too bothered. Or maybe he was just counting his blessings that she finally gave him a shot and he didn't want to make her mad. However, it didn't take long before fans started to talk about how Tina acted disrespectfully toward him. For example, in this viral interview, she seemed to completely disregard his feelings just to make her point.
Man I wanted, I prayed for the type of man I wanted, and I got pretty much that. Is he perfect? Absolutely not. But, you know, he has a lot of the qualities. He has a lot of the qualities that that I love.
Girl, that man was big hurt over that statement. What makes it wilder is that there were a lot of ways.
Oh my God, he was hurt. Oh my gosh, she shouldn't have did him like that. And I hate it when women feel like they have to do that when they're big. Either big up your man or don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're uncomfortable enough to, like, if you're so uncomfortable to just leave it at I'm giving a compliment, that you feel like you have to make disclaimers in front of other people just in case it don't work out, because that's what it really be, then just don't do it, right? Either give them a compliment or don't, but you don't have to make a backhanded compliment. She was wrong for that. Okay.
Ways that she could have played it cute and made it into a sweet moment, but she didn't. And it was clear that Richard was hurt. Like that wasn't bad enough, Tina also shaded him and the situation on Instagram, saying, "I'm careful not to confuse excellence with perfection. Excellence I can reach for, perfection is God's business." She also added the caption, "I came across this quote this morning. I could not agree more with Michael J. Fox. I believe any human being who thinks that they are perfect or someone else could be perfect is delusional. I believe that only God is perfect." I love Mama Tina, but that was unnecessary and shady.
It was so unnecessary, because it's not that she's wrong about people not being perfect. It's just, why say that?
To the man she married. So when we found out about the reports of their marriage being strained, fans suspected that Richard had gotten sick and tired of how Tina treated him, and that's why he was tired. Now, this is all speculation and a theory that's making rounds on social media, but fans are convinced that this happened. Anywho, the divorce was finally settled a couple of days ago, and let's just say that it wasn't what we expected. Their were split amicably, and according to reports, Tina was awarded the right to keep a property in Los Angeles and a separate property in Texas, as well as all furniture, furnishings, appliances, artwork, and personal effects at both locations. She also gets all earnings acquired since their date of separation and creative works generated during their time together. She also gets to keep a 2018 Tesla, a 2020 Bentley, the matriarch book deal with Penguin Random House, and a 1% interest in Kirby Beauty Management LLC. Richard was also awarded a 2021 Cadillac Escalade, the right to all earnings acquired since their date of separation, funds acquired by Richard Lawson Studios Incorporated, his SAG pension plan, royalties, creative works made during their union, and personal belongings, including clothing and jewelry. Tina also made sure to protect her kids and grandkids because, according to reports, the former couple also agreed to a non-disparagement agreement, in which they acknowledged their intent to resolve all issues in their dissolution amicably by agreeing to agree on any statements made about their divorce mutually and will not speak ill about their children, grandchildren, and their spouses.
So, you know, Richard probably have seen some things being around his family. He probably has all type of tea to spill, and you know it's messy. We know we still don't have the backstory on that whole elevator footage with Solange and Jay-Z, but you know it's messy. And usually families like that have a lot of money and wealth and they have an image to uphold, have a lot of dirt. They are the most toxic family. Oh my, if you've ever been around these type of people that have money like that, and they portray this, and I'm speaking as somebody who has been around this type of family, it's so toxic. And what ends up happening, they end up finding a way to stick together as a family in their toxicity, but everybody around them gets burned, kind of like the Kardashian family. So I could totally see him deciding, hey, I want to leave her because I felt too disrespected, because she seemed like she didn't really have too much. She might have liked him for who he was and, you know, how he doted on her, but like the respect wasn't there.
But the surprising thing is that she was ordered to pay Richard a one-time payment of $300,000. Now, neither one of them requested spousal support or alimony, so it's weird that she has to pay him that much. We don't know what the payment is for because Richard is certainly not broke. However, fans are speculating that it could be some sort of payment for damages, for the way Tina allegedly treated him while they were married. Now, we don't know if this is true because for all we know, it could just be a payment for one of Richard's belongings that Tina wanted to keep in the divorce, so it's hard to say. Fans left comments saying, "Behind every face is a personality," and based on that interview video of Tina insulting Richard like that, it probably was a wrap from that point. The way she talked about him and their union came off as if she never really wanted him but settled for him. If she acts like that in public, I can't imagine how she is when the cameras are off. And just because you knew the person before doesn't mean it's going to work when you finally get together. Things change and people change over time.
Yeah, and in this side, I like to call things down the middle and call a spade a spade. Richard seems like he just has more of a warm personality, and Tina is very dry sometimes, or it comes off as like she's fake, trying to be happy, but she doesn't seem like a very warm person to me. She seems like she can be cold sometimes, and I guess maybe in that industry, in that business, you have to be, but over time that can harden you a little bit.
But do you guys think that Tina was really disrespectful to Richard, or do you think that fans are reaching? Share your thoughts in the comments and then check out.
So yeah, this is a situation where I definitely here's the thing. Richard Lawson is not an ugly man. He's handsome. And I'm sure he can go get another woman. A nice woman at that. He can go get him a Miss Sherry that's gonna cook him some pies, peach cobbler, collard greens, ham, mac and cheese at his age. So I'm sure he'll do fine after the divorce. What I hope is that he's not scorned. But he absolutely, if she's not treating him right, I wouldn't continue to stay for the rest of my years just because that's Beyonce's mother. With that said, Beyonce's mother isn't a bad looking woman and she has a lot of money too. So I'm sure she'll find another man. But if they don't leave each other, go look for partners, that's okay too. They have other things they could be doing with their time. And that's the message that I really want to impress. That's what I wanted to do with these lives. Stop dealing with BS from people because you're afraid of what it's going to look like to others. And because of the time that you put in, you have to begin to learn how to view success differently. That's the only way that you're going to prevent yourself from getting played. If you look at success in terms of time spent and staying together, especially with relationships, then you're going to get played every time. You're going to get dragged through the mud. And guess what, y'all? That's in life, in love, and in business. So with that said, I'm done talking about this topic. Remember that I do coaching sessions. Just email me at ThePassportSis. You can also follow my TikTok. That's travel centered on ThePassportSis at TikTok. Another thing, if you want to do StreamYard videos like this, if you thought about starting your YouTube channel, click my link in the description box. You will get a $10 credit. Also, if you are struggling during payday all the time and you need your check to hit a couple days early, use my Chime link. Once you sign up for direct deposit and your first direct deposit hits, you will get $100. I have two bank accounts. One of them is Chime because my other bank account, they want to hold my money hostage until payday. With Chime, they will give it to you 2 days in advance, and they also have a feature to where if you need your money earlier, they will give you up to, I believe, $500 of your paycheck early. So it's something for you to tap into if you want to. Those links are in the description box. But with that said, y'all, I will be back tomorrow at 3 p.m. And make sure that you hit the notification bell, like, and subscribe to my channel. Y'all have a good day.